Romelu Lukaku celebrates after Man United beat Swansea 40. Our focus switches to the afternoon's Premier League action. Join Ben Cooley for all the action, odds and more. FD Swansea 04 Man UTD Bournemouth v Watford Burnley v West Brom Leicester v Brighton Liverpool v Crystal Palace Southampton v West Ham 17:30 Stoke v Arsenal. Related links: Cubet's latest odds and price boosts. David John's Premier League preview. Sporting Life Accumulator Charity Challenge. Enter the free-to-play £1 million Super 6 Reload. Refresh for updates. Live blog 14:30 headlines. There are Sturridge starts for Liverpool in place of Salah. There's no place for Defoe in the Bournemouth side for the second time this season. He is on the bench. And Evans is not in the West Brom 11. Reportedly, he is still not quite fit, but with Man City knocking at the door, perhaps that's that for his West Brom career. He'll be back in 5 with Super 6 and SSPB details, but only if you promise to read David John's preview first. 1425 Right then, here are all 10 teams ahead of the 3 p.m. kickoffs in the Premier League. Bournemouth: Begovic, Cook, Ake, Sermon, Arter, Afobe, Daniels, Smith, King, Fraser, Iber. Watford: Gomez, Britos, Prodl, Amrabat, Cleverley, Richarlison, Chalobah, Dubois, Gray, Femenia, Holbas. Burnley: Heaton, Lowton, Tarkowski, Mee, Ward, Goodman, Hendrick, Cork, Defoe, Brady, Vokes. West Brom: Foster, Nyom, Higazi, Dawson, Brunt, Phillips, Field, Livermore, Barry, McLean, Rodriguez, Leicester: Schmeichel, Simpson, Morgan, Maguire, Fuchs, Mahrez, Ndidi, James, Albrighton, Okazaki, Vardy. Brighton: Ryan, Bruno, Dunk, Duffy, Sutner, Murphy, Proper, Stevens, March, Gross. Murray. Liverpool: Manule, Milner, Clavan, Gomez, Matip, Robertson, Henderson, Wijnaldum, Main, Firmino, Sturridge. Crystal Palace: Hennessy, Fosu, Mensah, Tompkins, Dan, Ward, Van Aanholt, Milivojevic, Puncheon, Loftus-Cheek, Townsend, Bentic. Southampton: Forster, Soares, Bertrand, Yoshida, Stevens, Davis, Taddock, Romelu, Lemuna, Gabbiadini, Redmond. West Ham: Hart, Reed, Cresswell, Font, Zabaleta, Rice, Arnautovic, Noble, Antonio, Ayew, Chicheri, Toft. And that's it. For the second time in less than a week, United run out 40 winners against a side who offered nothing in attack and proved generous in defence. I'm not sure this was even United at the best, but what a start it has been to the season for Mourinho's side. 902 Ayew fires wide from range in the second of 3 added minutes. What an easy afternoon for De Gea. 90 This game was over 10 minutes ago as United now take the time and await the final whistle. Stand by for team news from the 3 p.m. kickoffs and reaction from Wales. 89 Elsewhere, Celtic have just doubled their advantage to lead 20 at Kilmarnock while Sheffield United held on to beat Barnsley. It has not been a good start for the bookmakers today. A heavy United win and all 3 underdogs losing to 0 is extremely bad news for them. 87 United break again, but this time Carroll is back to intercept after Pogba's off-balance cross. 84 Goal Marshall: Swansea 04 Man UTD Swansea have lost the shape as Marshall runs at Mawson, cuts inside and fires home. It's a fine goal against weary opponents and evidence of the options Mourinho now has in attack. 83 I remain to be convinced that United are going to be in there fighting for the title with 3 or 4 games left, but one thing I will say is that they have acted like cold-blooded killers in their opening 2 games. Both opponents did really well for large periods, particularly in defense, but were ultimately made to pay a heavy price for the mistakes. 82 Goal Pogba: Swansea 03 Man UTD Carroll gives it away to Pogba. He finds Mkhitaryan, who returns it to Pogba. The French midfielder then clips his finish over Fabianski, and that's 30 out of nowhere. Simple but ruthless after another Swansea mistake. 8 Goal Lukaku: Swansea 02 Man UTD Proof that the layers aren't always right as United put the game to bed. It's all through Marshall's run at the heart of the Swansea defence, followed by a simple pass from Mkhitaryan to Lukaku, who has inexcusably been left alone in space 15 yards out. He has no problem firing home. 2 Swansea lapses, 2 United goals. Romelu Lukaku celebrates 80 United games last season were notable for the late action. Will we see any here? Sky Bet say no. It's odds at 46 that the game ends 10. They offer 141 that Marshall scores the second goal of the game and 71 that Fellaini is booked as the price boosts focus in on the 2 United subs. 77 Lukaku turns his man and looks up, but his ball to Mkhitaryan is really poor and Swansea can clear again through Fernandes. He and Mawson have done really well in the main, although it was Fernandez who stood still to allow Bailey in. Fine margins, 0.76. That's really good from Valencia, who uses his body to roll Routledge out of the way and clear to safety. At the other end it's even better from Fernandez to slide in and stop Lukaku from galloping into the box, before Nocturne calmly chests across back to Fabianski. Plenty of encouragement at both ends for Swansea, but time is running out. 0.75. Pogba's effort is just a little high and just a little wide. One of those the goalkeeper casually watches as though he had it covered even though he was nowhere near. Marshall is on for Rashford and Fellaini for Mata. 0.73. The second yellow of the game goes to Ver as he leaves a boot in on Blind, whose shot flies over the bar. Good refereeing to call that back for the free kick around 30 yards out. 0.72. Swansea's latest corner fizzes across the box and causes problems, but United to clear and briefly look dangerous on the break as Nocturne just nips in before Lukaku can go clear. 0.71. Matic does superbly to get in front of Fernandez and clear for another corner. 0.70. Abraham's deflected cross falls to Routledge but HES forced backwards. Nocturne then tries to bend a ball around the United defense and earns a corner off Valencia's shin as Marshall prepares to come on with Fellaini. 0.68. Mkhitaryan finds space 25 yards out and again doesn't hesitate, shooting wide with his second touch. 0.67. Swansea break and again look dangerous as Ayew runs at Valencia and squares towards Abraham, who can't quite get onto the ball. Substitutions now for Swansea as Mesa is replaced by Narsing and Batley by Routledge. 0.65. Mata to Blind, inside to Pogba, through to Lukaku, whose touch is poor. It's not been a great day for the United summer signing, although you still feel will take it if his teammates can conjure a chance. 0.64. Better from Swansea, as Jones does well to cut out a ball from Ayew to Abraham which would put the latter in on goal. Some glimmers of promise from the hosts, who can take encouragement from some lapses in concentration at the heart of the visitors' defence. 0.63. Swansea deal with the corner well enough, as has been the case with most of them, which makes the concession of a goal like Bailey's all the more infuriating if you're Paul Clement. 0.62. Corner United after Mkhitaryan's shot is deflected wide. 0.61. All that said, Swansea enjoy the best spell of possession, and when a cross finds Abraham, he probably should do better than head over from 12 yards. Albeit with the ball slightly behind him. United went to sleep there. Neither Bailey nor Jones are aware which of them should be on Abraham's shoulder. Whatever the answer is, neither it is not. 0.60. With half an hour remaining, United are 27 to win 2-0, which looks a fair reflection of the way this game is going. Swansea need something to spark their attack into life, and I'm not sure why see it on the bench. Spend that money quick. Sky Bet also have a number of price boosts, including Bailey to be carded at 51, all of which can be found here. 0.59. A brief threat from Abraham and Ayew, but, having been wide apart for most of the day, they're too close together and can take advantage of a chance on the edge of the United box. Swansea keep possession, but when the ball breaks to Ver, his shot is high and wide. 0.58. Ayew brings down Jones as frustrations grow among the Swansea side. Mawson then intercepts a Mata pass directed at Lukaku, but this remains far too easy for United, who at some stage will find the final ball they need to double their advantage, surely. 0.57. De Gea collects a high, tame cross and launches United into a counter. Rashford, eager to shoot whenever he can, again ignores other options and fires at Fabianski from 20 yards. It's a regulation save for the former Arsenal man. 0.55. You can see why Mourinho was so desperate to bring Matic to United. His ball over the top here is too long, but he continues to dictate things at the heart of midfield. If United are to launch a sustained title bid, HES going to be vital. 0.54. Batley is furious at Fabianski for not receiving a shout as he heads behind under no pressure. Swansea just about clear the danger after a brief threat from Pogba, but so far this is damage limitation, devoid of any hint that they might offer an attacking threat. 0.52. Mkhitaryan spots a runner but his ball isn't high enough to evade the Swansea defence. He's just starting to work his way into the game as Rashford wins a throw deep inside the Swansea half. 0.51. Mawson clears the corner and then does really well to do so again from a Mata cross. It's another United corner, but this time Nocturne can get rid of a poor ball before Olsson heads yet another one out. Eventually, the ball spills out of play for a goal kick, but United look dangerous in the air. 49 Good closing down from Abraham as De Gea is forced to rush his clearance. Bartley then makes a hash of a simple header and United earn a corner which Mata will take. 48 Nocton wins a throw on halfway as he tries to work a way around blind. Abraham then finds Ver, who switches to Olsson to cross, but it's a waste of some good work as his ball flies long and out of play. 47 Mkhitaryan and Pogba exchange passes just inside the Swansea box, but Olsson does well to dispossess the former and clear. Just 2 minutes into the half, but swiftly back into the pattern of play. 46 August 2015. The last time United lost a Premier League game, having scored first, I believe. Who did it to them? Swansea. That's who. Not that either goalscorer is still at the club. We're back underway. 1325 The Pogba header which led to United's goal. Pogba's attempt heads towards goal. 1323 Quick break here, but he'll be back for the second half. In the meantime, you can email benjamin.coley@sportinglife.com. 1320 Sky Bet won't be pleased that the 3 lunchtime favourites across the UK are all in front, but Bailey scoring first wipes out thousands of scorecasts, first scorer bets and whatever else, so there's that. They now make United 110, with Swansea out of 401 and a draw 81. It's 118 that United win and there are 3 or more goals in the match, while Lukaku is 92 to score next. Bailey, the goal scorer, is 51 to add a card to his day's work, while it's 74 that there's a goal scored by the hour mark. Pogba is 92 to score at any time, too. As for the correct score betting, United 20 looks to be the call at 114 if you ask me. Click here to bet. HT if you watch a replay of this game, narrow the first half down to the first 10 minutes and the last 2. Swansea hit the bar, then United in a lively opening, before the game settled into a pattern of United with the ball, Swansea denying them space. But for the odd glimpse from Rashford, United appeared to be lacking in ideas until a cheap corner, a free header and a quick response saw them edge ahead. They deserve it in as much as any side who score a goal more than their opponents deserve to be in front. What can Swansea offer in attack from here? Odds and very little, I reckon. 451 That's pretty much the last action of the half. 45 Goal Bailey Swansea 01 Man United sucker punch for Swansea as Bailey reacts best to prod home after Fabianski had done phenomenally well to keep out a header from Pogba. Questions have to be asked of Fabianski's back four there, as it was a United defender who was ready. 44 Ver fouls Pogba on halfway as United dominate as we edge towards the break. Imperative that Swansea hold firm here. A ball from Pogba towards Lukaku looks to be about to drop on the Belgian's head, only for Fernandes to come to the rescue. It's then Nocton who stoops to head behind for another United corner. 43 The United corner is wasted and then a rare thing indeed, a goalkeeper comes for the ball, falls down, but a foul is not awarded. That means Mata has a great chance to score for the visitors, but off balance and under pressure, he pulls his shot just wide. 42 Abraham tries to clip one over the top to Ayew, but Valencia, Jones and Bailey combine to win the ball back. United then win a corner as Olsson heads behind under pressure from Mata. 40 Celtic take the lead at Kilmarnock. The odds and lunchtime treble of Celtic, Sheffield United and Manchester United is looking quite like a nice position, even with Lukaku isolated here. 39 Mesa curls one in deep and that's a huge opportunity wasted. Bartley is free at the back post as was Fernandes behind him, but tries to nod it across goal rather than testing De Gea. It goes harmlessly long. 38 United are all the way out to 813 here, which begins to look fairly tempting given that they still look in control. The flow of the game suggests more chances will come after the break, although they could do without cheap free kicks being given away, which is what happens as Mkhitaryan brings down ayew. 36 Chance the best of the game in fact, as Mawson heads the ball straight to Rashford. He's through, the United man, but chips the ball into Fabianski's arms when a low pass into either corner was surely the play. 33 Swansea just cannot keep the ball, with Abraham particularly isolated. Rashford spins on the edge of the Swansea box and wants a free kick when Mesa challenges, but the referee says no. The home side break and earn a corner as Abraham almost gets on the end of Ayew's cross. 3-1 all serene here, but at Bramall Lane, Leon Clark throttles Angus MacDonald, who responds by trying to headbutt the Blade striker, and both are sent off. 3-0 United just up the tempo a little and it earns them space, but Rashford decides to shoot rather than run at the opposition and his tame effort is easily saved. United come again through Rashford, but Pogba then goes in late on Nocton and might be lucky not to be booked for a second time here. One of those, had he not been booked for the first, had have been booked for the second, even if this was a genuine attempt to play the ball. Thin ice. 2-8 It's a poor delivery which is cleared by Matic before Fernandes skews across behind for a goal kick. After an electric start, the last 15 minutes have been pretty dire, it must be said. 27 Pogba has been quiet and is rightly booked for a swing of the leg which brings Carroll to the ground. Stupid challenge from a player whose mind does let him down from time to time. 25 Lovely touches from Mata and Mkhitaryan on the edge of the Swansea box, but, for now at least, the Swansea backline is able to deal with the threat as Rashford gets told to stop moaning, I gather. 23 Olsson involved again, this time via an absurdly ambitious overhead kick which De Gea collects. On the nose, son Martin Olsson gets acquainted with the ball. 22 Olsson wins a throw-in midway inside the United half, but it's wasted as Ayew's heavy touch sees United take control of the ball. Swansea really need to sharpen up when they do have it. As United break, Bartley does really well to get there in front of Rashford, who for a minute looked like he was set to run through on goal. The United man felt he was pulled down, but it looked a strong, decisive piece of work by the Swansea defender. 21 Swansea do at least appear to know what they're doing without the ball. The trouble is, they can be as well drilled as they like, but 90 minutes of this and they're vulnerable to moments of brilliance, which is what happened at Brighton last week where Man City eventually opened them up. Feels like United need only be patient and disciplined and the chances will come. 20 Rare this, but after 20 minutes of no goals and no red cards, United have been cut to 13 from 411 to win. Such is the superiority right now. It's 41 that both teams score in a win for United, while Mawson is 71 to be carded and Abraham 51 to score. Click here for the latest odds. 18 Ayew is fouled midway inside his own half, but Abraham's attempt to turn a ball around the corner to his strike partner is misplaced. 17 Mesa has been quiet, understandably so, on his Premier League debut, and balls like the one he just received won't help. United intercept and come again, albeit patiently, as they look for an opening. 15 Lukaku can't quite get on the end of a blind cross as the United fullbacks join the attack. Pogba then seeks out his pal with a diagonal ball, but Fabianski is live to the threat and rushes out to collect. 14 Ayew has been the bright spark for the home side, hitting the bar in the early minutes with an inventive outside-of-the-boot effort. Jordan Ayew shoots for goal. 13 Patient from United as Matic orchestrates the latest attack from the heart of midfield. Left, right, left again they probe away at the home side, who are really struggling to keep the ball now in midfield. 12 Lukaku's through ball towards Rashford is cut out by Bartley after what was a slick passing move from the visitors. United come again as Rashford dances his way down the left, only to lose control of the ball for a Swansea goal kick. 11 Respite for Swansea as Bailey concedes a free kick on halfway. Elsewhere, Billy Sharp has put Sheffield United in front against Barnsley. Don't act surprised. 10 Off the bar Matters ball in his delicious, and Jones really should do better than crash his header into the bar from close range. Huge chance for United, who are beginning to assert now. 9 Mawson is then drawn into a foul on Rashford. Clumsy, that, and United will have the chance to deliver a dangerous ball from just outside the box to the right. 7 Rashford spins and shoots from 20 yards. It's dragged wide, but that's a warning to Swansea not to let him find that gap between midfield and defence. 6 Mata turns and looks to find Rashford, but his pass is much too strong and goes out for a goal kick to Swansea. Lively start. This 5 Clement charmingly taking notes before popping his black book back inside the inner left jacket pocket. That's inner left, for fans of Mission Impossible. 2.4 United break quickly through Lukaku, and when his attempted square ball falls back at his own feet, the Belgian fires wide from just inside the box. 3 brilliant from Swansea as they hound United out in midfield before Ayew bursts down the left and clips a ball across goal which almost looks like it might drop in. In fact, it might just have kissed the bar on its way through. 2 Jones does well as Ver looks to find Abraham over the top. Strong start by the home side and United yet to string passes together at 1. We are underway and Bailey clears as Swansea look to attack down the channels. He was very impressive last week, I thought. 1-2-2-8 here they come then. A reminder, United are unchanged from the side which beat West Ham 40 last Sunday in what turned into a real exhibition after a slightly cautious start. Swansea make one change, bringing in summer signing Mesa to replace Britton, who is injured. 1-2-2-3 under 10 minutes to go now until the first game of the weekend and there's a lot to live up to. The first set of fixtures produced 31 goals, i.e. 3.1 per game, and that's with 8 teams failing to score. Bonkers. If you think this one will live up to the goals galore defending as a bore billing, it's 45 that there are 3 or more goals and 41 that United score 4 or more. I've still not had a bet. I don't like betting in games where I think one side will win but are appallingly short. Some would say back the others, but there's little to be gained in throwing money at every single value price. Has to be a combination of value fancy, surely. For instance, Southampton to beat West Ham later. Now there's one we can get stuck in. 2.1210 before we focus fully on Swansea v United. A word also on the Super 6. In case you weren't aware, there's a £1 million jackpot to be won in this free-to-play game. 5 of today's matches are in the Premier League plus Fulham v Sheffield Wednesday in the Sky Bet Championship. Clearly, to nail 6 correct scores you are going to need all the help you can get. And that's why we've put together this statistical package. 1205 as you might have gathered, I'm a little stumped when it comes to this game and might sit it out. However, Sky Bet have made the 3 p.m. decision a little easier with the latest Soccer Saturday price boost, which sees the Liverpool, Leicester and Burnley treble enhanced to 71. Obviously, you have to forgive Liverpool's abject defensive display last weekend. And you have to rely on Burnley producing the home form they showed last season, given that today's opponents West Brom looked pretty lively against Bournemouth last Saturday. Then there's Leicester, who conceded 4 even if they did give Arsenal a scare. At least at 7s those negatives can be swallowed and all 3 are worthy favourites in my eyes. I think Brighton will struggle on the road. West Brom may also find themselves in that sort of situation, and Palace were rubbish and there for the taking if the Reds show up. Soccer Saturday price boost 11.55 if David John isnt for you, and let's face it, he isnt for everyone, then perhaps Paul Merson is. Merce, like DJ, has looked at every game this weekend except while DJ's weapon is the keyboard, Merson's is the camera. Watch him shooting the breeze with Jeff below. Video element not supported. Paul Merson's weekend preview 11:52. What about United to win by a goal? Then Swansea do well in the fixture but struggled to create last weekend, and a 1-goal Mourinho victory away from home is the stuff many a title challenge was mounted on. It's a 52 chance. However, David John, whose opinion on such matters should always be sought, thinks this could be another convincing win for United. He goes with a scoreline verdict of 30 and puts up Juan Mata to score 158 with Sky Bet as his best bet. DJ writes Swansea are a work in progress as they try to figure out how best to utilise and support new striker Tammy Abraham while Fernando Llorente remains in the treatment room, and there is a very real danger they will be dominated from the off here. There should be more chances for Lukaku and Rashford, but it was little Juan Mata who significantly caught my eye with some excellent work against the Hammers. I would not be surprised in the slightest to see him pop up undetected once more in the opposition box, and the Spaniard is a high-quality finisher when a chance presents itself. Click here for the full preview plus his take on every other Premier League game this weekend. 1150 Enough idle transfer chatter anyway, and to the more pressing issue of what to back here. Opta are, as ever, on hand to paint quite an encouraging picture for the home fans. Despite the first fact on this list, the Swans have never kept a clean sheet against Manchester United in the Premier League in 12 contests. The last Swans goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet versus the Red Devils was Di Davis in December 1982. Manchester United have won 2 of the last 3 Premier League meetings with Swansea D1, this after losing the previous 3 all by a 21 scoreline. Swansea attempted just 4 shots in their opening matchday game away at Southampton, without any of them finding the target, both league lows on MD1. The Swans are now unbeaten in the last 6 Premier League matches, W4D2L0. This is their longest unbeaten run in the competition since a run of 7 games between December 2012 and January 2013. The Welsh club have lost only 1 of the last 8 Premier League home matches, W6D1L1, and in their only defeat in this run, they were leading until the 88th minute, 13 versus Tottenham. Manchester United have only won 2 points, W0D2L2, and scored 1 goal in the last 4 Premier League matches away from Old Trafford. Manchester United have kept more clean sheets in 2017 than any other Premier League team. 12. Last weekend, Romelu Lukaku became the 4th Man United player to score a brace on his Premier League debut, also Van Nistelrooy, Wilson, Rashford. Indeed, the Belgian striker is also looking to become the 5th player to net in his first 2 place-ups for Man United, also Ibrahimovic, Martial, Makeda, Sahar. Anthony Martial came off the bench to great effect on MD1, becoming the first Man United player to score and assist a Premier League goal as a substitute since Nani vs Liverpool in March 2008. Gylfi Sigurdsson has been directly involved in 6 goals in his last 6 Premier League games against Manchester United, 3 goals, 3 assists, but looks likely to miss this game for the Swans. 1148. In contrast to what's happening at Swansea, Mourinho seems happy enough with his lot. In fact, the Portuguese exuded contentedness, a word I despise. Is it even a word? Last weekend. Wonder how long it'll last. Since then, HES added, I don't think we are unless something happened that puts us in the market again. I told Mr. Woodward that obviously my plans were for, but I also told be cool, no pressure from me, do what you think is the best for the club. We will be together again for another transfer window in January and another one in the next summer, so there is no pressure from me at all, and I am happy with the squad we have. I am ready to go without the 4th player, so if we are out of the market I'm fine. I'm ready. As you'd expect, United are quoted in virtually every market for every player, but Sky Bet have them odds to sign just one Zlatan. It's gone quiet, talk of a new deal for the Swede, but the betting says it's going to happen. 1145. Looking on the bright side, if Swansea were to bring in all 3 of those reported targets, might things look quite good. They've got a very well-regarded manager, a very well-run club, and Burnley combining with the likes of Abraham and Chadley would be glorious. Here's the big summer signing speaking to Swans TV. Video element not supported. Swans TV. Abraham's first interview. 1142. To the big problem Swansea have right now is, of course, how to replace Gylfi Sigurdsson. At least they have something in the region of £45 million to go to war with, and boss Paul Clement says HES spoken to those on high about what to do with it. I spoke to the owners Steve Kaplan and Jason Levian last night and what we will do moving forward, he said earlier this week. We have received a good transfer fee and funds are available to strengthen the squad. It is a big challenge replacing Gylfi, but I hope we can potentially bring in 2 or 3 players to strengthen us in various positions. I'm not going to talk about players at other clubs, but there are discussions behind the scenes with the owners, the chairman and our recruitment team who we can potentially bring in before the window is over. We have multiple targets because things do not always come off. You have to move to other players in that situation. We have to move swiftly, but we will not panic. Sometimes the deals can be better in the last days of the window. While Clement won't talk about other players, there's nothing to stop us, and if the odds are correct, first through the door might be Nacer Chadley. He's 49 to sign from West Brom, and there are no other sides shorter than 25s. It's Swansea, stay put. Sam Clucas is another who is odds to move to South Wales at 47, while a return home for Wilfred Boney is 14 and makes a world of sense, doesn't it? 1136. And so we move to the betting, with Sky Bet making United 411, the draw 41 and Swansea 172. It's not that I'm especially keen on backing Swansea, or indeed the draw, but United look short, don't they? Yes, they were very good against West Ham, but 411 away at a solid outfit like Swansea, even even without Jiffy just strikes me as a little silly. You need United to be winning this 4 in 5 to make the work, and the bare fact that they've won just 2 of their last 6 against the Welsh outfen. As ever, Sky Bet have a number of price boosts, and the pick of them might be 16's Tammy Abraham to score first. He looked pretty lively last week and looks a bright addition to the Premier League. Again, not a case of being particularly keen, but the price does look plenty generous. Other price boosts include Lukaku to score a header at 132, Pogba to score from outside the box at 152, and United to win 21 at 91. Click here for all markets. 1134 United to make a change on the bench where Lindelof makes his first appearance in the squad, while Swansea bring Mesa into the first 11 in place of the injured Leon Britton. That's about that when it comes to changes from last weekend. 1131 and here's Swansea: Fabianski, Mawson, Olsson, Nocton, Bartley, Fernandez, Carroll, Vert, Mesa, Ayew, Abraham. 1130 United team. Familiar if you watched them last Sunday: De Gea, Valencia, Bailey, Jones, Blind, Matic, Pogba, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Rashford, Lukaku. 1125 team news will be through shortly. Can't imagine Jose Mourinho will change much following his side's brilliant start to the season against West Ham last Sunday, while Swansea were solid as they battled to a draw at Southampton, albeit I'm not sure United will be so generous in front of goal. As ever, if you want to get involved, especially if that means steering me towards a winner, it's at benjamin.coley@sportinglife.com. 1115 morning and welcome to live coverage of Swansea v Manchester United as the second weekend of Premier League football begins. Get comfy because after this we'll move on to the 3 p.m. kickoffs before Stoke v Arsenal concludes the day's action. Above are some handy links, but if you stick around I've got some Opta stats up my sleeve: previews, betting, team news, manager quotes, pretty much everything you could possibly need, to be honest. Team news: Swansea: Fabianski, Mawson, Olsson, Nocton, Bartley, Fernandez, Carroll, Vert, Mesa, Ayew, Abraham. And United: De Gea, Valencia, Bailey, Jones, Blind, Matic, Pogba, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Rashford, Lukaku.